How's it going, animates out there? My name is Byax, and today we are going to be talking about some more Kingdom Hearts 3 ReMind DLC news. This news is really good, and I can't wait to get my hands on Kingdom Hearts ReMind due to this information right here. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get on with the video. Before we get started, if you are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and click that notification bell right beside it so that you won't miss every single video that ends up on this channel. So recently, KH13 has posted an interview that Famitsu has done with Tetsuya Nomura talking about Kingdom Hearts 3 ReMind. And in that interview, there was some really good information that we have received from Tetsuya Nomura himself, and he was not playing around. He literally confirmed all this stuff. He said all these things will be in the game. But of course, one of the things that he said we obviously knew from the beginning when Kingdom Hearts 3 ReMind was announced back in 2 months ago, I should say. So here's the information right here that Tetsuya Nomura has actually said within this interview. Nomura has stated that the recent announced strongest class limit cut bosses from ReMind was not shown in the ReMind DLC trailer. The trailer only shows elements from the additional scenario. This is something that, I was kind of aware of, and at the same time I kind of figured this was going to happen, because as we saw the first ReMind trailer, there wasn't really as much things like we wanted to know and all that stuff. And these are probably one of the reasons why, because Nomura, he always, says these type of things when it comes to interviews and all that stuff, because back when, Kingdom Hearts 3 was developed, things were, kind of getting a little bit out of hand. There were leaks going everywhere, there were false information, all that stuff. So he decided to say hands down that basically he wants to, give out more information and all that stuff himself, because he wants to make sure that people, make sure they, know exactly what they're, taking in and all that stuff. And these are one of the examples right here. When he says the strongest class limit cut bosses from ReMind was not shown in the DLC trailer, he is confirming that basically what you saw in the trailer and all that stuff, that's what we had to put in the trailer instead of, the thing that he just stated, because of this particular reason. And I can really understand why that Tetsuya Nomura decided to do this and all that stuff. So this is kind of one of the reasons why I like the way he did I kind of like the way he waited and paused for a minute before he, make all these big major decisions. Sora's Oathkeeper Keyblade and New Form will release simultaneously with ReMind as a free DLC. In my opinion, the Oathkeeper should have been in the beginning of the game, but who knows? Nomura probably have his reasons for not adding it in the game in the first place, and probably add it as a DLC. Who knows? But anyway, this is very good news. I actually loved the Oathkeeper. The Oathkeeper is actually one of my favorite Keyblades to actually wield and actually use. It is because, it's one of the main Keyblades that's close to the Ultima weapon just a little bit. But instead of Sora's Oathkeeper, I love the Oathkeeper. Where's the Oblivion? I kind of want the Oblivion as well, but I guess that's what Roxas is for, with the Oblivion and the Oathkeeper in both hands. But I kind of want, just a little taste of, the Oblivion, just a little bit. As stated previously, the DLC will include the additional ReMind scenario, a limit cut episode and bosses, and also a secret episode and bosses. So when we're talking about limit cut episodes and bosses, we're talking about things that, obviously we haven't seen in the game, and bosses such as the data bosses from Kingdom Hearts 2. Mainly what Tetsuya Nomura is saying is that the bosses that we would probably mainly see in Kingdom Hearts 2 is probably going to be in Kingdom Hearts 3, as well as some bosses that we've, never fought before, like the return of the Lingering Will, or some of the organization members, or, one of them. And it's really amazing that that's going on. And Nomura also, re-explained the secret episode. So basically, I think the secret episode will have to do with the foretellers and how, what their big master plan is, as well as, you know, the black box, because we've always wanted to know what was inside that black box, and maybe the Kingdom Hearts DLC will possibly answer that question. So I am super hyped for the secret episode, bosses, and the limit cut, and adding some more scenarios. Nomura has also said this, which got me really excited, and it's really good, and I'm so glad that he mentioned this, because this is a really big thing, and this is the main reason why I wanted to make this video. So this is what the interview says. It says, although there isn't a proper release date for it yet, aside from this winter, Nomura wants to release ReMind quickly and not too close to Final Fantasy VII Remake's release in March 2020. The main reason why I'm excited for this, and I'm so glad that Nomura has said this, because like, we don't want Final Fantasy VII Remake and Kingdom Hearts 3 to, you know, overlap each other, because, you know, that's kind of bad for, you know, video game titles and all that stuff, because like, one end people want Final Fantasy VII Remake, on the other end people want Kingdom Hearts 3, this and that. It'll, you know, cause a little bit of a complication and all that stuff, and, you know, it'll go off the radar for Square Enix. So I'm so glad that Tetsuya Nomura said that Kingdom Hearts 3 ReMind will be before Final Fantasy VII Remake, before it releases in March 2020. And that's something that, not mind-blowing, but I'm just glad that Tetsuya Nomura has said this, because like, through the problems with the gaming industry, they have, you know, a tendency of releasing two game titles from the same company at the exact same time, and that's sort of a problem, because like I said, we don't want two different video game franchises overlap each other, and that can cause a problem. So I'm so glad that Tetsuya Nomura has said this, so thank you so much, Nomura. That's also got me excited. And the final thing in this article really answered my question in this interview, because this is the question I had ever since the Kingdom Hearts 3 ReMind trailer has came out. And this is what this article says. Roxas can be selected after advancing through additional scenarios like Riku and Aqua. Additional scenarios are independent of and can be enjoyed after clearing the main story. Number 1, Roxas being playable. Yes, I am truly hyped. I cannot wait to play as Roxas, but I'm so glad that this has answered my question, because in Kingdom Hearts 3, during the ReMind trailer, we seen that Roxas was playable, but something was kind of off for me, because like, we see the whole Sea Salt trio fighting Sayax, and we all know in Kingdom Hearts 3 in the main story, we know that Roxas actually came out of Sora's heart and actually, you know, came down to the Keyblade graveyard, fighting, you know, Sayax in them, but with Shiem and Sora, not, you know, the three Sea Salt trio, not the three main people. And that's something that I was kind of confused about, and I was wondering how are they going to play this off just a little bit, because if they do this, I kind of want to know how this is, you know, going to balance, because this kind of, you know, throws off, you know, the story just a little bit. Like, you don't want to get people confused and all that stuff if this mainly happens. So I'm so glad that this has answered my question. Number 2, additional scenarios are independent of and can be enjoyed after clearing the main story. So basically what that means is that you don't have to go through the whole Kingdom Hearts 3 main story, you know, to get to, you know, the scenarios and all that stuff. You can literally just go straight to, you know, the DLC. Like, you don't have to, you know, do all that stuff. Like, no one wants to waste their time doing all that, and that's something that I'm so glad Tetsuya Nomura has done once again. And, you know, it's really cool, and I appreciate him so much. So guys, that'll do for today's video. What I want to know in the comment section below is, what are you super excited for that Tetsuya Nomura has just said in this interview? This is actually a short version of the interview. The full on interview will be releasing tomorrow. I don't know what time, but once the full actual interview releases, then I will be covering the whole thing. So what I want to know in the comment section below is, what is your favorite thing that I just, you know, told you guys that was in the interview, and where are you hoping to see in DLC? Who are you excited to play as, and what other things are you excited in the DLC that, you know, that you just cannot wait for? So put it all in the comment section below. Until then, I'm Byax. I hope you guys have an awesome and a very fantastic day, and I will catch you guys in the next video.